Good morning. Shout out Kevin Davies. You see that we get a little extra oomph in that morning music this morning, a little extra oomph. So shout out Rock and Roll who sent over an updated morning music. Love it. Good to see everybody in here. Chat was active early. Look at Tom Sylvia in here. I don't think you're going to see a timestamp on this, but Tom sent this last night at 10:48 p.m. Eastern. So Tom was ready to go for the morning marketplace at nighttime. So that's the kind of energy we're looking for this morning. Let's get some business out of the way. And I'm going to bring up Tom Vo. Tom, you're right, dude. Someone came in here before we went even live and was like, God, we got to hit that dislike button. But you know what? Today's for the haters. So go ahead, hit the like button. You guys know the drill, right? You see in the show notes, you can follow us on Twitter, do all those cool things. But what we're going to do what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about some basketball. There was a handful of games last night, 7 or 8, I think. So we're going to talk about some of the players that popped a little bit last night, see how it's messing around with the marketplace. We'll talk over some of the challenges that are wrapping up. I know some of you probably got a Jokic last night, so drop those serial numbers. I want to know if anybody snagged a low serial of Jokic. I did not. I was in the 2000s, but that's okay. Happy to get it. And the Rising Stars Challenge ends today. I think does the Holo Challenge end today too? But yeah, we are gonna get into it. And as always, if you guys have questions, you can fire the questions in there. I'll try to get to them as I can. Oh, Daniel D in the chat. What's up, Daniel D? Joe Boyle's up in here. Drippy, I see you. Joe Vu's here. Scotty. Let's do this. There we go. T1 Jordan, early enough here. Get your coffee ready. Good, man. Let's get all our sips in. All right, here we go. Let's do this. So last night, I gotta say there weren't a lot of fun games to watch last night. I guess if you're Brooklyn or a Knicks fan, that was a fun back and forth game that Brooklyn's that eked out of. But we're gonna start in Detroit, where I don't know. I wouldn't say there's good basketball happening. Oh, here we go, Rock and Roll. Yeah, he's the one. He's the creator of that music. Shout out Rock and Roll for being here. Oh, today's show is sponsored by Sanka Coffee. We love it. So last night, we let me share screen too, so that way you all aren't seeing the big old noggin the whole time. I wanted to talk about Detroit a little bit because Detroit messed around with some injuries, and so we saw some dudes come back. First, we got 2 rookies that I want to talk about. Killian Hayes. So let's look at Hayes first. Now Hayes didn't go like too wild. I think he had like 9 points, 7 rebounds, like 5 assists, a couple steals. So once Hayes figures out the whole turnover thing, oh, you know what? Let me do this too, so you guys can see a little bit better. But once Hayes figures out the turnover thing and slows the roll a little bit with that, I think we're going to see him. He's going to do a little bit of everything, right? So he's going to fill the stat sheet. So it was good to see him just, like work it out a little bit. It was good to see that. Oh, I'm going to share this. That's true. Like if y'all watched that game last night, oh my God. Like Gonzaga just couldn't come back from that. But yeah, Killian Hayes, he really is he's gonna fill up the stat sheet. I think he's gonna, I don't want to compare him to Rondo, but in the fact that he's gonna do a little bit of everything. Actually, it's probably more like a Draymond Green and a point guard, right? Where he's probably not gonna average 25 points a game, but he is gonna be like flirting with triple doubles a bunch. And I think, everybody was so high on Killian Hayes at the beginning of the season. I think he was the 6th overall pick, right? So being the 6th overall pick and then not playing most of the season because of an injury, I think people forgot. So I'm not saying go get him right now, but I would just keep an eye on him. I also am not recommending watching Pistons games because those aren't fun. Just keep an eye, though. Let's keep an eye on it. All right. In that same game, though, in that 7th pick, thank you, Jovu, and 4 steals. Yeah, Killian did. He's going to fill up the stats for sure. But in that same game, I want to talk about my man, Beef Stew. Beef Stew, I don't know, top nickname in all the league. Give me a better nickname. I mean, Greek Freak's pretty good, but Beef Stew. He started last night because Plumlee was out, and he played I think only 21 minutes and got 12 points and 6 rebounds. Those stats aren't overwhelming, but he only played 20 minutes because they beat the piss out of the Thunder. That's actually why Killian Hayes got as much run as he did, is because it was just garbage time for the rest of the season. So I mean, every time Isaiah Stewart comes in, he does stuff. He's just very aggressive. He's a big energy boost. I think I compared him yesterday to Montrezl Harrell, and their games are different, but just the spark that comes into the game when he enters the game. The Big Ragu is a great nickname. You're right. Shout out DiVincenzo. But I really, really like Isaiah Stewart. I like him so much. That I purchased him last night. So I played him in fantasy. He got off to a hot start. I was like, fuck it. We're buying beef stew. I can't keep talking him up without owning him. So you might look at it like, hey, I'm pumping my own bags. But what I will say is I was pumping beef stew for a couple weeks before I actually got it. So, all right, Boob. We'll get into the rumors about the legendary drop. There's a lot of rumors floating around, and I don't have any answers, but I'm excited to talk about the rumors, so we can do that. We can do that soon. I don't think he's on the site yet. Yeah, Malachi Flynn's not on the site. So I want to talk about the Raptors a little bit, who, I don't understand how the Wizards keep losing. I know they were without Beal, but like the Raptors had nobody last night. They're trying. I feel like they're trying to lose. Maybe they're not. But Russ, of course, with 23, 14, and 11. But the dude I wanted to talk about who doesn't have a moment on the site yet is Malachi Flynn, who had 16 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks. Like just balled out. And, what's different than like what Killian Hayes did, like Killian Hayes gets so much extra run because the game was a blowout. They were using Flynn in close games. So he's someone I'm paying attention to. I think he's going to get a little bit more run now that they are thinned out at the guard position since they moved Terrence Ross. And I think we're going to see Lowry not play a bunch down the stretch. He's not going to play as much as he did last night. That had more to do with Fred VanVleet. But the other dude on that same team, in Smeeg talked about it. Gershon said it too. Yeah, Gary Trent Jr. needs a moment. We need this dude in here. What's been fun about watching Gary Trent since he's come to Toronto is like he was playing with 2 guys who gets buckets, right? He was playing with Dame and he was playing with CJ. And now, VanVleet gets buckets for sure, but it's more of a facilitator. And so Gary Trent now is just going to be firing. I think Nick Nurse even said it too. Like, Gary, you need to get your shot more often. So I really am excited to see what Gary Trent Jr. does over there. So I like that. Kiwi Beats. D. Russell came back yesterday and dropped 25, bottom during the dip, up big now. That's nice, man. That's nice. Yeah, hopefully D. Russ continues to stay healthy and can play. I'm curious to see what the Wolves look like when they have everybody, I still don't like that team. I don't think they're going to be good anytime soon, but at least I would like to at least see them have a shot, We're taking a sip. All right, we're back. Okay, so we talked about Detroit. We talked a little bit about Toronto. Actually, let's stay in Minnesota since you brought up Minnesota. I want to pull up Towns again. And, continuing the trend of disrespected big men and NBA Top Shot. Karl-Anthony Towns, he's just putting up 23 and 10. Like, that's what he's doing now. He's going to do it every game. And they're going to win. And they're not going to win, but he's going to put up 23 and 10 every game. So, stat-wise, like, he's just going to always be considered an offensive powerhouse. And, we value offense more than defense in this world. But, looking for cheap entry points, Karl-Anthony Towns for $8 for Series 2. His Cool Cat still sub 100. But let's look, like, his first moment on the site, 275. 275. Like, that's pretty cheap for Karl-Anthony Towns' first moment. So I think we forgot a little bit about Karl-Anthony Towns. I think we forgot a little bit about him. But I like Towns. I do like Towns. Part of me, he's still got so much time on his contract, so I'm not saying I'm rooting for him to get on another team. But I did see that rumor that the Wolves are interested in moving, or they're I don't know if they're interested. There was some rumor that Towns and Russell might be finding new homes soon. Which, man, I get it. If you're Karl-Anthony Towns, you're probably tired of getting your teeth kicked in every night. But, man, even his metallic gold Series 2, this is out of $499, is only $370. Another Series 1 moment out of $1,500 is $230. Like, this is like real buy low on Karl-Anthony Towns. So I like that. Oh, Vaughn, that was the next dude I was going to talk about, dude. You did call Garland yesterday. So shout out to Vaughn. Garland put up 37 and 7 last night. Just monster numbers. So this is a triple badge for his Series 1. Triple badge, $229. Series 1. And again, that's what we're talking about. I love it. T1 Jordan, diehard Wolves fan, getting featured on Top Shot Takes makes up for the one playoff appearance in 15 years. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But yeah, see, there's a lot of surprise. I think we just forgot about Cat. I think we forgot that Karl-Anthony Towns, like he was battling COVID. He's on a team that was really bad. I think he's like totally undervalued on the site. Here we go. Aaron with some news. It was an unfounded Twitter rumor about Towns. Sources tell No Name reported that the Wolves might want to consider trading Cat and D'Lo. Makes me wonder if Cat put that out there. He's like, yo, get me out, dog. But anyways, back to Garland. I can't remember. Did the Cavs win last night? Cavs are such a weird team because it's all these like young dudes who they're still going to keep losing, right? Garland, Sexton. No, they beat the Spurs. That's right. Ryan Kelly said RIP Spurs. But man, 37 points, 7 assists, and 2 steals. Dude, this was in a regular, like he only played a hair under 30 minutes too, which is kind of nuts. Wow, Jan Kirby with the take. Cat is the 3rd best center behind Jokic and JoJo. Wow, I like it. Man, do you guys think Culver's good? I feel like I agree this moment is really cheap, and it's a Series 1, and I believe it's his rookie moment too, right? Yeah, so for all 3 badges, $100. I mean, this is a real buy low opportunity drunk tree, right? Like if you think Culver's going to figure it out at some point, but man, he's just been like dinged up, and then when he's healthy, he's not doing anything. So it's something. Yeah, if you believe in him, like if you want to buy low and you're like, man, if Culver figures it out, maybe he goes to another team. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like Culver's going to be the guy in Minnesota, right? I'm not getting that vibe from him. I'm not getting that vibe. All right, listen, hey, we're 13 minutes in. If you haven't had a chance, please do me the favor of just liking the stream. If you, it takes like 2 seconds, right? And then it gets more eyeballs in here. It's good for the people. It's good for Top Shot Takes. You can also follow us on Twitter at Top Shot Takes. You can follow me at Mike Zakarian. Also, the Top Shot Takes crew, all 3 of us, Greg and Dustin, will be back tonight at 8:30 Eastern to talk all the fun stuff. Maybe we get information on a pack drop by then, so who knows? All right, what else we got here? Yeah, Culver, back to Culver. Awesome in college, but was healed. Yeah, oh, geez. Jaden McDaniels, though, man, Colin, this is a good call, dude. This is one of my favorite rookies this year behind Beef Stew. $230, all the badges. I like Jaden. I do like Jaden. That team's so weird, man. They've got like a lot of young guys, but it's just unclear what direction they're going in. It seems like they have young talent that they should be able to figure it out, but I don't know. I mean, and Anthony Edwards is getting so much love right now, but I heard this stat. I think it was on the Bill Simmons podcast yesterday, but he's like 2nd in the league in shot attempts behind Bradley Beal. Like he's taking like 20 something a game. Maybe it's just for the month of March. Maybe it was just the month of March. I can't remember exactly the stat, but like deep analytic dive, Anthony Edwards. Oof. But anyways, his rare. We should talk about this too. You guys see they added the little star as the challenge reward. It's pretty neat. I like that. We were asking for them to do something, right, to make the challenge reward seem a little more significant. I'm not saying that all of a sudden brings in insane value or anything like that, but it's nice seeing a little pretty star, but yeah, his rising star moment still staying around 3K, which is good to see. His rare metallic gold for less than $100 more, which I think you probably go get that one because that's out of $499. His Series 1 under a K. Yeah, the Wolves, man, the Wolves are interesting. I do like Jaden McDaniels though, Colin. It's a good call. Culver is the next MCW. I think that might be giving Culver too much credit, honestly. All right, Zach Campbell. Best buy out of these. Simmons, Adebayo, Kawhi. Man, I don't know. Those all... What series are those, Zach? Are those all the same series? I feel like I should be able to tell from that. Yeah, I don't know, man. Probably, I think I'm highest on Bam out of all of those. But I also don't like Kawhi. Kawhi's probably the right call. I just like if I'm picking one of those, I think I'd rather have Bam. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess they announced this in the Top Shot Discord, right? That there was an error, and that's why the Cool Cats pack drop notification came up. But as far as we know, that's not happening. Not yet, anyways. That would be kind of wild if all of a sudden they put the pedal down on the gas and we're getting this challenge done soon, because there was such a long wait between 2 and 3, right? Yeah, what else? Yeah, the pack drop's mistake. Did I miss anything else? He's are we still talking about Anthony Edwards? He's a rookie. Yeah, he is a rookie. A rookie shouldn't be shooting 20 some on. I can't imagine being on that team and being like, thank God Anthony Edwards is shooting at 20 plus times a game. All right. Anyways, enough. We've already talked too much Minnesota Wolves. Beamer, Series 2, 1,500, just getting murdered. Yeah, but I think long term, I'm feeling good about that. All right. Well, who else? I need to make sure before I get lost in the questions, we got to get through the rest of those guys. All right. The Suns lost a close game last night. I mean, no, I'm sorry. They won a close game last night against the Rockets, but it feels like a loss. It feels like a loss when you play a 3-point game against the Houston Rockets. But Booker, over 30, I think he had 36 and 6 last night. This is just a reminder how cheap Devin Booker is on the site. Again, early entry point. If you're like, I'm new, I just want a couple moments. Out of 35K, $9 for Devin Booker. His Series 2, 15K that B-Mur was just mentioning getting murdered, down to $28. Seeing Stars at 50. I mean, I'm probably not trying to get a Seeing Stars right now, but out of 50. Metallic gold. So this was the rare reward out of 142, man. This is so like when you talk about, I know there's so much negative EV with challenges and challenges suck and blah, blah, blah. You're getting a Devin Booker out of 142. I mean, that's so rare. Like even when you look at Series 1, his second moment is out of 2,681. His first moment out of 1,358. $900 too, sub 1,000 for his first moment. But just a reminder, like this is out of 142. That's awesome. But yeah, I really like Devin Booker. Man, 36 and 6, like just solid. Just solid. Oh, Andy, we are gonna be talking challenges soon. Let me tell you that right now. I am very excited. Aaron Borland, as one of the 10 people that regularly watches the Timberwolves, I'm always down for talking about them. I'm seeing some questions about Ingram's first moment. I feel like that's been coming up a lot lately. A lot of people have been asking about Ingram. Before we get to Ingram, I wanted to check in on Deandre Ayton, who also last night, 27 and 11. Finally some life from Deandre Ayton, who's been putting up like 14 and 4 lately. But this, I feel like this has potential. Like this is risky because DeAndre Ayton's been pretty shaky this year. But again, it's only his third year in the league. He's now with Chris Paul and Devin Booker, who they're all still figuring themselves out, with Mikal Bridges as well. 173 for his first moment on the site, sub 3,000 mint. If you wanted to go wild and get his metallic gold, it's sub 1,000. Series 1, man. I think this is underpriced. I love DeAndre Ayton. I love DeAndre Ayton's upside. It's definitely risky. It's not like getting Jokic or an Embiid or anything like that, because it's his ceiling is unclear, as well as his floor. Both are unclear. I think we're definitely going to see Ayton be good for a while. I don't know if he's going to be great. But anyways, to see him put up like big numbers, again, it was against like Christian Wood and Kelly Olynyk. So if he didn't dominate that team, like what the hell? But I do. Aaron says, I wish that MGLE class was unique moments and not just a reskin of another moment. Yeah, I go back and forth, right? I do agree with that, because it would feel nice if it like stood out a little bit more. But part of me likes that it's just like nicer than the base. It's like, oh, it's a little shiny. So you could get the basic one or you can get the shiny one. You know what I mean? Billy, great question, Billy. Yes, I did. I even spent like 15 more than the lowest ask because it was a sub 1K serial, and who knows if that matters, but I try to talk myself into Denny being really good. Kelly O slander will not be tolerated. Listen, Kelly is a great ninth man. All right. All right. There was somebody else I wanted to check. Oh yeah. Mikal Bridges also got $20. 20 bucks. Maybe he is $20, but he got 20 points last night. And Mikal Bridges is someone that's going to shine in the playoffs. I'm very excited for people to I'm very excited for people to see Mikal Bridges. And 113, this has actually gone up a little bit because I think it was sub 100 for his first moment on the site. So I like Mikal Bridges. And then the last one we're going to check in on is Kevin Porter Jr., who in the same game put up 29, and 8. In his first moment, I remember when we first started looking at this a couple weeks ago, it was up in like the 800s, and now it's down to 380. So full disclosure, I think Kevin Porter Jr. is going to be my next buy. I think that's going to be my next buy. All right, let's go over to Own the Moment. If you guys, I just saw this. Chris Middleton, that word, like that name triggers me. I don't, but that you shouldn't ask me that, because Chris Middleton, every time he plays the Celtics, turns into Larry Bird, and that's why I don't like him. So he's good. All right, let's look at On the Moment. If you guys haven't checked out On the Moment, pretty cool stuff over here. They have some good YouTube content, their podcasts, all that fun stuff. Speaking of podcasts, also, like if you're like, hey, Mike, I'm not always at my computer, I don't want to watch your face when I hear this, you can search Top Shot Takes on Apple Podcasts, and I upload this into audio form every day because I'm here for the people. All right. So let's look at the top 5 gainers here. And I like looking at this because this kind of goes back to the conversation we have every morning, where is the action from last night impacting the market? And I think for the most part, we've seen it hasn't, which allows us to get a little bit of an edge, I think, where we're paying attention to the games every day and we're like, oh, wow, this person's trending up. The one thing I will say, Darius Garland's rookie debut, Series 1, had a big jump, right? Its low ask is now 19.15. It's up 47% in the last 24 hours. So that's kind of neat. It's kind of neat to see that. Like Garland puts up 37 and 7, and then we're like, oh, holy shit. All right. Chris says, Chris is not part of Mike's 4-page like list. That's right, man. That's right. All right, here we go. Let's keep going. So DeMar DeRozan has laced him up. You're going to see a lot of his series. I would say a lot of the rare and Series 1 stuff is going to be in your top gainers. Now, mainly, right, because that way, if like the lowest ask is sold and there's like a $2,000 difference between lowest ask and the next lowest ask, that's why you're going to see those big jumps. But the top 5 losers, no surprise, right? The challenge ends and then everything goes down the toilet. So you see Anthony Davis seeing star for 77, Ben Simmons for 35, Sabonis 27, PG 33, Sabonis 27. That's the last Sabonis is the Cool Cat. Man, poor Sabonis on here twice, right? It was like top 5 losers, and like Sabonis is 2 of the 5, 40%. Yeah, I like. We've talked about the seeing stars quite a bit with the full crew, with Greg and with Dustin. And I've kind of wavered back and forth where I'm not really interested in collecting those. But if you do think seeing stars is going to be something that they do every year, and this is the first version of it, and you have an opportunity to scoop some of these, right? Like you are getting a Ben Simmons out of 10,000 for $35. A Sabonis out of 10,000. You know what I mean? So there is some value in that, because that is like a low serial man, considering right now they're out of 35,000. Who the hell knows what it's going to be a year or two from now? So that's something to consider, right? All right. They just announced a new metallic gold challenge. So we'll look at that one first. Only 35 completed. I don't even know what the reward is for this one yet. I haven't. Let's look at that. Let's look at the reward. So who is it? It is Christian Wood. Oh, interesting. A Christian Wood dunk. There we go. I do like, we've talked about Christian Wood on here before. I do like, Chris Middleton disliked the stream. Damn. Yeah, that's a reminder. Go like the stream if you haven't done it yet. We got to stay at 50%, and we are nowhere near 50%. That's actually not true. We're not far off. Just go like the stream real quick. Let's get this up to 200 views today. 200 concurrent viewers. Would love to see that. All right, so let's go back to the challenge page. So right now it's going to cost, a cool 10,000 to complete the challenge. Only 35 completed so far, but there's still a week left. Of course, what sucks about this challenge is you have all of the money is tied up into these 3 guys: Anthony Edwards, Steph Curry, Zion. So this is one of those things, right, where we said, if you've got one of the more expensive ones, it's probably worth trying to complete this. I co-own the Mitchell Robinson one with G Dunn, so I don't think we're going to complete it, as that's down to $300. But yeah, so if you get a cool 10K you're trying to drop on a challenge, go for it. Yeah, here we go. Wood's first moment is real low right now as well. I do like that. I'm not going to complete this challenge because it's very expensive. And as Beamer says, does Christian Wood fire anyone up to buy all those Meagle moments? No. But unless if you've got a couple of these already, I can see it, especially if you have some of the expensive ones. But yeah, I don't think so. I do like his first moment though, that Colin said. I do like that first moment. It does feel cheaper. All right, here we go. Let's go back to the challenges. So Rising Stars 2, which ends in just a few hours. And you know what? I don't like to show behind the scenes what's going on all the time. But let's go back to the active challenges. Bang! We love to see this, right? Oh, baby. All right. So right now it's going to cost $3,800. So it's actually gone up a little bit. It's going to cost $3,800. There's 706 of them. And when you look down here, it looks like there's 26 that have 8, 19 that have 7, 6. So, we'll probably land maybe right around 800. But I love this. So, and this is like, yes, challenges can be negative EV. And there's a lot of conversation around that right now in the community of people dunking on challenges and like, what are you doing? You're wasting money. For me personally, and again, this is how I approach the challenges. If I packed one of the more expensive moments, there's a chance I'm going to go after it. And so I packed Halliburton. I had some friends that packed some other moments, so I made some trade deals with them. And then I bought up some of the cheap ones. Wow, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, sub 200. And the other thing about Rising Stars, and again, if you're not new to this show, you've heard me talk about this. The Rising Stars one was interesting to me because these are Rising Stars. So there's a chance, like I like owning a Michael Porter Jr. out of 2021. I like owning a Nickeil Alexander-Walker out of 2021. RJ Barrett, Hero, like all of those moments I'm happy to have because there's especially Halliburton too. And I know Halliburton, there was some comments that he had a tough game last night, whatever. Like Halliburton's awesome. And he's a great basketball player that might not average 30 a game, but he is going to make teams better. So I'm happy to have those. So now you're telling me I'm getting a Zion Williamson under 900. I'll be generous and say 200 more people completed. Like around a 900. That's, oh man. I'm happy with that. I'm happy getting one of those Zions. And then maybe, who knows, I get lucky and get a nice cereal. And then all of a sudden it's very sexy, very exciting, So that's kind of where I'm at with that. What do you got, Loftus? On the other hand, the fact that not many will go for this challenge because it's Christian Wood will in turn make it more valuable. I mean, that's true, right? We saw that with the Devin Booker and the Jamal Murray MGLEs and the Terry Roziers, like because I think there's a negative stank on some of the challenges right now. So you're not seeing as many people go for them. I will say though, if you're trying to make quick money off the challenges, yeah, it's not going to happen. Like these are more long-term plays, I think. Yeah, here we go, Spencer. We love it. Completed the challenge early. Nick's going to be in the playoff for once so RJ can make some noise. Yeah, I know, right? And that's we've talked about this. How much was the most expensive challenge ever cost? But yeah, we talked about this before with the Knicks and just like any playoff team. I do think the next push we're going to see is in the playoffs. So if that's the case, I think actually the First Mint talked about it last night or yesterday in their podcast with LG. I think he was saying like, investing in playoff stars or role players, like they're just going to get so much more attention, so much more play. So yeah, I get that. How much was the most expensive challenge ever cost? I mean, I imagine it's one of those Holo challenges, right? I would imagine it's one of those. And Jesse in here, it's only negative EV if you're looking to sell off most all after the challenge. Like the Zion Series 2 MGLE is 2,500 at 499 count. I think we see this one at 13 to 1,700, but you get a lottery chance at a low serial. Yeah, that's where I'm at. A lottery chance at a low serial, and like I like those moments. And that's why I didn't go after the Seeing Stars challenge. It's why I didn't go after the All-Star challenge. There are some moments in those sets that I really like, but I just wasn't like, I didn't want to own all those long-term. Or these ones I'm happy to hang on to those long-term. All right, let's go back to their site. I think if you have more questions on the challenges, let me know. We'll look at the Holo one, which I'm sure none of us are trying to complete right now, unless there are some big whales in the chat. But just a reminder, this is the Minnow Tank, the Minnow Vault, Fish Tank, whatever you want to call it. So the Holo Icon 3 is 41K. This is for Jokic. See, this one's more evened out outside of Kawhi going for almost 10K. Everything else is kind of within range of each other. So, yeah. Also, like, look at the world where Malik Beasley's worth more than Lowry and Holiday. And Buddy Hield, too. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, Top Shot? Deep threat. There you go, deep threat. Yeah, I'm not. See, and I had this conversation with Dustin, too. I think you'll have an opportunity to grab those pretty cheap soon. Because, right, let's go back to Rising Stars 2 just to check the prices one more time. Like, to see Ja, man, you're gonna get a 2021 Ja, and say this dips like $100 or $200 after for like $378. Like, what? Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, Colin says there ain't no sale on Zion ever. Yeah, and you're just hoping for it's the serial lottery, right? So you're hoping for a low serial. But like, man, even if it's out of 800 and you got 799. That's still sick. That's still sick on Zion, right? Because you look at Zion in the marketplace, and I know Zion has a lot of moments, so maybe that waters it down a little bit. But when you look at Zion, right? So out of 10,000, he's 125. Out of 15,000, he's 118. Out of 500, he's 2,500. So let's try to find one that's a little bit more. Out of 1,500, he's 1,700, right? So like, now granted, this is Series 1 compared to Series 2. It'll probably be down a little bit more, but you got to think, I mean, I don't know. It should be worth at least 2K. You would think. There we go. I like this, Jan. This is the kind of discourse we're looking for today. I love that. LeBron, Bitcoin, Luka, Zion, ETH. I like that. All right, let's go back to the marketplace. And I wanted to look at some Series 1 stuff, say like sub 500, because Series 1 has rebounded a little bit, but I still think like, sorry, I gotta sniff. I don't want you to hear it. God, there we go. That felt great. Let's take a look at what's up. Paul's Life. Good to see you, Paul's Life. Have we talked about the new moments in the pre-order packs, rookies, 10K? No, not yet. Or 1K? Are they at a 1K? Well, no, but we can talk about the pre-order pack in a little bit. I wanted to, and let's look at Lois Ass Descending. I wanted to look at Series 1 just because I feel like we found, if we believe long-term, if the thesis is that Series 1 is always going to be the most coveted, whether it's base or metallic gold or whatever, Series 1, I think now's still a pretty good time to snag some of these and get some decent value at sub 500. So I just wanted to like scroll through a little bit and see if we could find something. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. It's not great. But we took some muscle relaxers and it feels good. Tom, yes, we are going to talk about the Paul Pierce firing in a second. We are going to talk about that. Thank you for the reminder. So we're seeing a lot of the like rare moments come in around 500, like a Marvin Bagley, Marquise Chris. These are all like a metallic gold of their Series 1. But this is one that stood out right here. And I think this is the one that was mentioned by, I forget who in the chat earlier, but Bam Adebayo's first moment on Top Shot is 470, which again, the trend of like disrespecting big men, but the Trae Young handles, now it's not his first moment, but it's still out of just 1,500 is only 450. Like, I think these are the types of moments that are going to continue to hold value as we move further away from Series 1. Because I think it's just going to make it more rare and more rare as the min sizes get a little bit bigger. You can get a Giannis Series 1 out of 2,400. Giannis is tough just because he has so many moments on the site. But again, out of 2,400, you get Tyler Hero's rookie. It's not his first moment, but rookie season, only 425. The James Harden block, man. Again, the only time James Harden has played defense in his career right here. But to win a playoff series, I think that moment is so sick. And I was going for like 1,600 not too long ago. So anyways, just wanted to poke around Series 1 for a second. Yeah, let's talk about the Paul Pierce thing for a second. Just for a second. I thought that was wild that they fired him. I don't know. Yeah, I get that it's Disney. And so like the expectations are a little bit different. I'll pose this question. Do you think if it was Charles Barkley that did that stuff that he would have got fired? Right? Like, I don't think there's a world in which TNT fired him. And he also posted that weird thing at like a video after, like, you're excited for what's coming next. I just hope Paul Pierce is okay. That's my biggest concern, is that I'm like, oh, is he having a meltdown in public right now? But I did think it was wild they fired him so quickly, or they mutually agreed to part ways. So hope he's all right. Yeah, let's look at the Michael Porter Jr. Series 1 again, too. See where that's at. See where that's at. Oh, yeah, because we had to clear the filters. All right, Michael Porter Jr. And sub 1K for this dunk, and sub 400 for this dunk. Yeah, I like. Great call, Chris. Great call. You guys know. If you just talk about Michael Porter Jr., I'll look him up right away. Like, that's gonna happen every time. All right. No, he was. I agree. He was like but like I just don't understand. Listen, I'm not here to point fingers or anything. But do you guys remember what happened with Ryan Russillo a few years ago? You guys remember Russillo? What he did when he broke into another apartment or hotel room and then was just like butt naked and he got suspended for 2 weeks? Like, Paul Pierce was like, the only thing that Paul Pierce did wrong was put it on Instagram. I don't know. Well, they pull out a mag called The Body. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I'm not disrespecting the body either. I just like don't understand. I'm so interested into. I wish I was a fly in that conversation. I want to know what that combo was like with ESPN. Also, did he get fired, or did they or was Paul Pierce like, nah, I'm not issuing an apology, I'm out? Like, I would love to have known. I would love to have known what happened. Yeah, I know you can't see my face right now. Like, I mean that you can't see the screen. That's okay. I just scrolled to Michael Porter Jr. No, I agree. He shouldn't have gone live. I totally agree with that. Like, that was a mistake. I just what are we doing? Yeah, and this is a good point too, Andrew. Like, he also was just bad at it. Like, he was just bad at it. Yeah, actually, that's the goal for this morning. We want to have more viewers here than Paul Pierce did when he had dancers and was smoking trees. Yeah, I'm with you, Andy. I think especially because remember that tweet that later that night or the following night at 10 p.m. that was like, good morning. All time hilarious. He supposedly had his kids in the house at the same time. Pretty sure that was the determining factor. Really? You think so? Because it's not like that. That wasn't like public. I don't know. He was already in hot water because of his takes. It's the truth. The truth. Break us. You're not wrong, Aaron. You're not wrong. Yeah, this is where I'm at, Colin. I'm with you here. This is what I think. I think like they were like, all right, you have an opportunity. Like, we're gonna give you 2 weeks off, and you say you made a mistake, and Paul was like, I didn't make a mistake. I'm not. Listen, no promises, baby. No promises. Might getting sexy in the morning. No, I agree. He's not like Chuck is the king when it comes to analysts. I'm not saying Chuck is better than, that Paul Pierce is better than Chuck. I'm just saying if Paul Pierce was on TNT, does he get fired? I don't think so. All right, let's get back to Top Shot. Brandon says, you think All-Star game moments will hold long-term value? I get the Kawhi and LeBron. I don't know what to do. LOL. Brandon, you're talking about not seeing stars, but the All-Star one, right? So, this is the good news. I'll give you the good news on these bad boys. The good news is these are out of 2021. It's the first All-Star game. It's the first All-Star game moment, right? So are they going to continue to do this every year? Because, right, if they're going to roll this out as a rare set every single year, which I guess they would, right? There might be some tweaks to it, but I imagine they want to do All-Star content every single year, right? Maybe they even do All-Star content 1 year when the marketplace is open during the All-Star game. Also cool. But so if you think they're going to do it every year and it's out of 2021, what do you think it's going to be out of next year? 2022 would be kind of funny. I don't think they would do that, though. It's probably out of like 5,000, assuming we're out of beta, where like it's public. we're advertising it. A lot of people are coming in. So if you're thinking that way, right, and you're thinking long term, I think you just hold it. You hold it forever. You hold it really long term. I think you miss the window on flipping them because the challenges are over, right? Both of those challenges are done. So to me, I'm not flipping at this point. If I was going to flip, I would have done it last week. I think I'm at the point where I'm just holding. Because again, I think if they're going to do this every single year and you get the first one, it's kind of the way that I've been approaching Series 1 versus versus everything else. It's the first. And I think the first is always the most coveted. So even though this is technically series 2, but you know what I'm saying. Satoshi, that's right. The Paul run. Let's actually look at the Paul run it back moment, which sucks that it's with the Nets. Like, come on. 2,700. Yeah. Does it go to the moon or does it go to the grave post ESPN firing? What's the phrase? Like, all news is good news. Here we go. What else we got in here? Oh, Tampa Bay Tommy checking in. Good to see you, bruh. All right. What else? Baylor invited to the White House. Gonzaga invited to Paul Pierce's house. Man. Yeah. Jan says holding the Luka All-Star game. I do think, right? Yeah, because it's now too late to sell. I agree with this, Jan. I think like if you still have it right now, you might as well hold it long term, right? Because otherwise you're selling them for like 30 cents on the dollar. A cheap threat. Crashing the site during All-Star weekend, a tradition unlike any other. The Masters. All-star sets will probably always be rare too. Yeah, I think so, right? Because if they've rolled it out this way, it would be weird for them to. It would be weird for them to not make it rare next year. Honestly, my hope for next year, and this sucks for people who have Seeing Stars, I hope they just do the All-Star game moments. Like to do the Seeing Stars and the All-Stars back to back, I felt like kind of hurt the value of both of them. You're like competing for two different All-Star moments. And I think by just having one of them makes it a little bit more coveted. I don't know. Maybe people disagree. I think what was nice about having the Seeing Stars is that it was a more affordable opportunity to collect All-Stars, right? That was a much cheaper in than it was for the All-Star game moments. One was common, one was rare. So I get doing both of them. They just felt so close to each other that it seemed like it hurt its value. So I don't know. Mixed thoughts on it. Mixed thoughts. Yeah, Colin, that's where I'm at, right? So I mean, we're obviously pretty bullish over here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing the show every morning. But anything decent at this point would be a good long-term hold. This is going to blow up big time. I think I have a tough time flipping anything right now with the market at where it's at right now. Like you're just flipping at its lowest point. And I understand there's like panic, right? You might have put in money in February and you're like, wow, I really hit the floor. But I don't know. I mean, like if you really do need to get some of that back, I totally understand flipping it right now to get some money back. But like this is, for me, I'm looking long-term and even like short-term, long-term, like getting to the playoffs, I think we'll see a boost. And then it goes public and we see a boost. So I think that's where I'm at. I think that's where I'm at with this. I like that. Drew says Top Shot should introduce a DFS element, set a lineup with own moments, small multipliers for rare legendary cards, rewards, incentives. I think you're right. And Drew, I don't know if you've heard of Swish, but you should check out Swish. And let me see if we'll check out Swish right here. We're going to go into the fantasy game. So I don't know. And let's see, can I just check? How do I check the... You can check the leaderboard. So basically you set a lineup every day and, or not every day, once a week. So, and you can see, and this is how you do it, right? You pick a 2-pointer, two 2-pointers, 1 3-pointer, 1 assist handle, and 1 steal. And that's kind of how they keep track. I do think at some point, right, Top Shot with the hardcore game, like you're going to see an aspect of that. But yeah, I agree. I'm with you on that. Dude, shut up, Big Mike. Thanks, man. Oh, this is a good reminder. Oh, we're like right around 50% right now. So if you're watching, just do me a favor and hit the like stream. Let's get this over 100. We want to get over 200 concurrent viewers today. We want to, it's Tuesday. It's tough to be excited for a Tuesday, but you guys will help get me excited. A deep threat. Are you winning a crypto on DK, a crypto punk on DK this week? Isn't that wild that they're doing it? I like it. Also, I realized I didn't share screen when I went to Swish. I'm sorry, guys. I'm realizing that right now. So I'll do it so you can see the Swish. But I am excited that they're doing that. I mean, it feels like I'm throwing money away at that because 1, I'm not good at PGA golf. And 2, you're like playing for first. But anyways, there we go. That's Swish. I'll go back to Top Shot. Can't stop calling. I do not have a clue when the next pack drop is. Hopefully soon though. Hopefully soon. Here we go. Go to the leaderboard and control F your name. All right, we'll go back over to Swish, especially because, let's see. Here we go. 336th place, baby. We ran out De'Aaron Fox, Jokic, Murray, Trae Young, and Boucher. One of the things that's kind of cool, I'm sure this isn't a sharp thought process that a lot of people are doing this, but I just kind of looked at who's playing this week, and I was like, oh, the Nuggets are playing, or the Raptors are playing 5 games, the Nuggets are playing 4 games, so let's throw some Nuggets and Raptors in there. Anyways, so that's Swish. It's pretty cool. I do think it's going to continue to evolve, especially with the hard court stuff. I'm excited for what that's going to look like. Okay, what else we got in here? Can't stop. Colin says, do you see the challenge rewards going up long term with the new star added to them? I don't know. That's a good question. I think like short term, it's anytime there's a new shiny thing, we get excited, right? So I do think there is some value in that. Let's look at, in case you're joining for the first time and you don't know what we're talking about, I'm pulling up Anthony Edwards challenge reward moment, and you can see here, it's got a little star, ding, and then a challenge reward thing pops up. I actually like that when you hover over it, that pops up. I don't know if it has long-term value. I don't know. I think like, I think for me personally, the way that anytime we get a new shiny thing, and this is kind of why I was poo-pooing the Mike Conley thing. I think the Mike Conley thing is cool. I think it's really cool that he's narrating the play. It's a nice added feature to the moment. But I think it's only going to matter if the player is awesome or if the moment is unforgettable. So, right, if Anthony Edwards flames out in 3 years, which I don't think is the case, but say he like ends up being a bench guy, just because this has a shiny thing on it, I don't think it has like long-term value. But I do think if it's like a LeBron or a Steph or a Zion or Luka, whatever, I think those moments specifically, I think then there's probably a little added value because it differentiates it from the other moments. So yes and no. I think it just goes back to the whole thought process of like, that's just go get stars. Mega Wolf says, I think Dapper changed deposits from $3K at a time to $500 deposits of credit cards. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I didn't know that. All right. What else do we got here? Too much turkey. Imagine if the star adds value to your team on Swish or Hardcore. Yeah, see, that's the stuff I'm really interested in, and that's kind of like out of my I haven't like fully wrapped my head around the game and how that's gonna impact everything, how that will impact hardcore. So I don't know. I'm so curious to see like what that's gonna do to the marketplace, because I was strictly coming at it from like a collector standpoint, and the game I do think it's gonna mix things up a little bit. And you're saying, so like it's like a multiplier, right? So the star adds value to it. Yeah, I'm so intrigued by it. I'm so intrigued. All right, Daniel D's in the house tells us, let's look at some Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, the triple-double machine. He's still putting up stats on bad teams. That's not fair, but it's true. All right, here he goes. First moment on the site, 1325. That actually does seem a little underpriced, 1325. Metallic Gold Series 2 is 450. What else we got here? His Throwdown Series was a reward, is 3,400. Wow, so you know what? Russell doesn't have many cheap entry points. That's interesting. I wonder if we're going to see one of those soon, right? Are we going to see a 35K Russ soon? Yeah, I think once we get that, there'll be cheap entryways into Russ. But right now, it's kind of tough. Your cheapest moment is 278 for a Series 1. So he has no Series 2 moments outside of a Metallic Gold. So we know we're getting this moment in a 35K mint, I would think, right? That's what that means. Interesting. Yeah. Daniel D versus G done for pre-order pack opening. Well, I'll tell you right now, my money's on Daniel D for getting the better pack. Russ was doing his best to lose that game last night. At one point, he was 0 for 8 in the fourth. Yeah, man, Russ is such a tough. He's a tough situation, man, because he's obviously really, really good. He's really talented. He just like sometimes when he goes in takeover mode, it's tough. Tom Sylvia with the real answer. Mike Conley checked. Seeing Stars one. Wow, it's up. The Seeing Stars is up 177. We put a little star on it. Went up $30. There we go. Good for Mike Conley. Yeah, let's look at Dame again too. We talk about Dame quite a bit. as someone who gets overlooked, which is funny because, right, normally when somebody gets overlooked, we're like, oh, it's the big man. Top Shot disrespects the big man. But then you look at Dame, man. Again, 35K is up to $21. That's actually up a few dollars, right? Because that was in like the 17, 18 range. But again, the moment's so sick. You know what? We're going to watch it again. We're going to watch it every day, I think. This is just going to be a segment where we watch Dame Lillard hit a game-winning three with fucking cars in the background, right? Bang. We love it. We love it. But yeah, his 15K moment is out of 36. It's only $36. Even in series 1, 525, like, man, it's cheap. Even the reward is only 1,400, and that's out of 431, right? So I do agree. I think Dame is pretty undervalued on the site, and he's going to finish top 3 in MVP, I think. Right? It's going to be Jokic, Harden, and Embiid. Entry points on high-end moments is just an ass. Look at sales volumes to see what I mean. They are not selling. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Those high entry moments, I don't think people are going after them right now. Big Mike says, actually, Russ does have a new 35K moment and pre-order packs. Cool. Yeah, they minted it already. All right, everybody is right. Everybody's right. That is Beamer. I realized that right after I said it, right? I do. I've dropped an F-bomb on consecutive days when there's a car in the background. I apologize if anybody's at work without headphones in. Also, you're a monster if you're at work without headphones in. Just an absolute monster. All right, we have to block someone who just keeps saying weird shit in the chat. Chris Tran says they should put out more affordable challenge similar to the Conley one so that people looking to actually collect can play. That was right. And I said that a bunch, right? That is the most positive thing about the Conley challenge for me is that it was affordable, right? That you were able to get in there for a little bit cheaper than like what some of these other challenges costing over like $2,000 or $3,000. That's a tough scene. And I think that's what they want Cool Cats to be too, right? They want Cool Cats to be, you collect 5 for a couple $100, you get a reward. So seeing the Mike Conley, but to me, the Mike Conley was still too expensive. Like Karl Anthony Towns going from $70 to a $9 moment, like it sucks. That sucks that you're just better off buying the moment when it hits. But I agree with you. I like that it's a little bit cheaper. Yeah, no. I don't think Embiid's going to be in the top 3. I think it's going to be Jokic, Harden, and Lillard. I don't think you can put Embiid in the top 3 when he's missed like 25 games. He's missed too many games in a 70-game season. I don't think you can give him MVP. And like from here on out, right, they got 20 games left. I don't think there's a shot in hell Doc Rivers is going to play him ever on back-to-backs. And we know the second half of the season is more condensed than the first half of the season where teams are playing 4 games in 5 nights. You're just not going to see – I just don't think he's going to play enough games for you to give him that. He's going to miss like a fourth or a third of the season. So I think it's going to go Jokic. Dame might even finish second because everyone remembers what Harden did in Houston at the beginning of the day, right? At the beginning of the season. So there's a shot where it's Jokic, Dame, Harden, but my guess is it's going to be Jokic, Harden, Dame. Maybe Embiid finishes third and Dame finishes fourth, but Embiid missed too many games. He's missed 10, but out of 72, and he's going to miss how many more? Rock and roll. The hardest part about that is they can't control the value. We saw Siakam 35K going for like $80 because he was attached to a challenge. Yeah. And I think that's going to continue to happen, which goes back to what we were saying, right? Where the challenges are going to be considered negative EV, but if you're a collector, whatever, it's worth it. MVP is definitely Jokic to lose right now. Harden is not going away, though. No, I agree. But now you're seeing Harden miss some games down the stretch, too. I think it's got to be Jokic. I mean, Jokic's stats are unbelievable this year. Like, he had, let me see if I can pull it up on Twitter here. If you don't follow us on Twitter, follow us at Top Shot Takes. You can follow me at Mike Sakarian. Also, let's do a quick check-in. Make sure you're liking the stream. You got to like that stream, baby. All right, I can't believe we're scrolling Twitter right now, but I want to pull up Jokic. This is from yesterday, too, so it's going to take a second. Is that supposed to be Jokic? All right, games with 15 assists since the three-point era. Jokic has 6, every other center combined. There was another one, though, that I wanted to pull up where he's just, like, dominating. Here we go. I think it's this one. He's leading the NBA in PER, WS, WS 48, BPM, VORP, and is the betting fit. Yeah, he has to win MVP. He has to win MVP. IMO. Who you think wins most improved? Ooh, Jeremy Grant? Jeremy Grant or Julius? Oh, there we go. I was going to say Jeremy Grant or Julius Randle, and then bang, Colin Rubin threw it in there. Good call. Yeah, and then we assume Jordan Clarkson gets 6 man, right? That's what we're assuming that. Although it feels like oh yeah, Satoshi, this is a good call too. Let's actually check Lonzo's price. I'm curious if that moved around at all in the last day. Still $18 for a series 2. Wow, a series 1 is still $159. It's a reminder that I have to go buy that today. Yeah, I think so too, Cameron. Aaron Gordon definitely going to help Jokic's case for MVP. They're just so much fun to watch right now. Man, that Nuggets team is so fun to watch. It's just like such fluid movement on the offensive line. We love that. Chris Boucher, Colin says Chris Boucher for most improved. He's going to play so many more minutes down the stretch. What was frustrating about him at the beginning of the year, really up until the All-Star break, is Nick Nurse was only playing him like 18 to 20 minutes a game. And Chris Boucher does a lot of dumb things that piss Nurse off. So that's why he ends up, getting benched. But now they're so thin, he needs to continue to play. So I like that too. I don't think he wins it, but I like it. A Deep Threat says you vote for me for most improved player. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, A Deep Threat. If I have an Embiid common LE, you think I should hold until its value goes up for the playoffs? Yeah, I think so. Let's look at Embiid right now. I'm so excited to see a healthy Embiid. And I want to see a healthy Sixers take on a healthy Nets. Like, give us that, please. Please give us that. So series 2 out of 15K is $40. Man, for $10, you can get a Joel Embiid. I think that's exciting. If you're new to the site and you're like, oh, I want a star, I don't want to spend $100, $10 for Joel Embiid. His series 1 out of 1,500 is $539. His first moment still sub 750. Wow. Yeah, I like Embiid. I'm really excited to see. I want to see that whole team in the playoffs just be like, I just want them to take it to the Nets. I want it because that's going to be you're going to have Ben Simmons covering. I don't know. Who does Simmons cover? Does he cover Harden? And then we get to see Harden in the playoffs again. Is he able to shake off that playoff rust? You're going to see, oh man, Embiid's going to average like 40 and 20. Like, it's going to be nuts. Is Jokic still, Gavin, do you mean underpriced? You have to mean underpriced because Jokic hasn't been overpriced on this site once. Overpriced at 180. Which one is 180? Oh, his Cool Cat. You're talking about the Cool Cat reward? Yeah, I mean, the good news is that's out of 6,700, right? So that's overpriced. But I think people don't want to take hits on the losses. So, I mean, on the challenges. So guys, you guys are too nice right here. Yeah, dude, we need a Robert Williams moment on this site ASAP. That dude is now turning into Hakeem Olajuwon. I don't really mean that, but he is playing out of his mind right now. And why are you guys making me look at PJ Washington? All right, just know it hurts my heart right now what PJ is doing out there. His series 1 moment is down to 180. I'm still long on PJ, okay? But he is not helping me out right now. PJ is not doing the sexy stuff that we wanted. Yeah, Tyler Hero has kind of had a tough year this year, right? I mean, his shooting percentages are way down. I think we got so excited from what we saw in the playoffs and how he just decimated the Celtics that one playoff game. But yeah, hopefully he finds his form soon. I'm just excited to watch the Heat in the playoffs in general. They are playing a different type of basketball than everyone else in the league. Like, every final score is 120 to 115, and then you see a Heat game and it was like 90 to 86. So I'm excited to see how that translates in the playoffs. And, and Depot still hasn't really figured it out there yet, too. So they do have an interesting ceiling. Oh, my God. Thoughts on the Pacers? God. Yeah, we need Alexei Pokuševski. There we go, Pokuševski. Let me look at Ben Simmons. Let me look up Ben Simmons here. So, wow, his Seeing Stars is 34. His series 2 out of 15K, 22. What's his first moment? Let's find his first moment on here. 600 for his first moment. Wow. Yeah, I mean, Simmons is another one who has a lot to gain in the playoffs, right? If he can show up and dominate and just like because he's someone who can change the pace of a game, right? If he dominates Brooklyn defensively, if he can like shut down Harden while still putting up some numbers. Yeah, hey, a lot of people are asking about pack drops today. I believe what happened was there was an error on Top Shots World, where they accidentally put up a banner saying that the Cool Cats drop was at 12 p.m. Pacific. We haven't seen anything about that. And they actually put in the Discord that it was an error. So I don't think we're getting a pack drop today. I don't think so. Yeah. Tatum is someone who is kind of, I think it's because the Celtics are looking like shit, so people are forgetting how good he is. But again, $9 for his 35K. I think Top Shot has to be happy, right? That those entry prices in February where it was like $40 to get an Ish Smith or a Robin Lopez or what's his name, Sam Merrill. And now to see that the 35K floor is right around $9, it's kind of the sweet spot, right? Because everything is like $7 or $8. Stars are $9 or $10. If you get a pack, it's still plus EV, right? Because the pack's $9, you're getting like three, say you get three $7 moments. So I don't know. I think there's still, it's like the best of both worlds where your packs are still worth something, but you're just not going to get huge stuff. Smeeg says, if a player doesn't have a moment now, does that mean we have to wait for Series 3 or will Top Shot add more to Series 2? I think there's still a chance. I don't think they're done minting for Series 2. So you just pay attention to Crypto Slam, I believe, where they drop that information. So I don't think that's what it means. I think there's still a chance. Andrew says, maybe a pack drop today. Did Top Shot not say they wanted to do pack drops on Tuesdays and Thursdays consistently in the future? Yeah, I can't remember. Oh, thank you so much, X Maximus 2012 X Roblox. I think there's a lot of crossover in the Roblox community and the NBA Top Shot community, so it makes sense that you're here this morning. And as always, all comments help the algorithm, so thank you for joining us today, Maximus. Bye-bye. That was good. That was fun. Do you think it's time to buy Seeing Stars? Yeah, the Seeing Stars are looking dirt cheap. I agree. And as we were talking about this earlier, right? You know, I was not super high on this series. I wasn't like super pumped about it. But to see these are all-stars. These are all-stars in the league that are of a min of 10,000, and you're getting them at pretty cheap prices now that these challenges are over. And again, if we do think they're going to do Seeing Stars every single year, and this is the first year of it, I do think there's still some value there, right? I do think there's still some value there. That guy does need some coffee. I love the idea of he was playing Roblox and then was like, I need a break. What's on YouTube? Oh, look at this asshole talking about digital cards. You know, it's good. And that's right. As we said earlier, Nolan, in the words of Paul Pierce, any press is good press, Maximus. God, good times, though. I love that. Anything, this is going to be the earliest someone has said fuck you to me in a while. So I enjoy it. It fuels me. All right, we did this yesterday too. I just want to see what's the lowest shit on the marketplace right now. Like what's the absolute bottom? Mason Plumlee makes sense. $5. But again, right? That's to what I was saying before. Mason Plumlee, if you he must be Jim Beam. Shut up, Big Mike, for calling back the comment from yesterday. Oh, I love that. And that hurt my arm so bad to do an overhead clap. That was a mistake. Wow. But yeah, as we were saying, right? If you got the pack from hell, if you had a G Dunn pack and you pulled 3 Mason Plumlees, you still made like $5 or $6, right? So it's great. That's great. I am engaged. What happened, Eden? Of course. LOA, walked away for coffee and F-bombs dropping on you, Mike. Yeah, that's what happens. Donovan Mitchell, too. He's another one, man, that people just like forget how good he is. I just don't like rooting for the Jazz, so I get it. But again, $10 for a 35K floor. I like that. I like Donovan Mitchell, man. And again, if we're talking about playoff runs and you think the Jazz are going to make a playoff run, we actually should talk about the playoffs just for a second. Just, you know, we've been doing updates on the Western Conference standings because I think those are the most intriguing matchups, right? So right now, like Utah has like a 2.5 game lead on Phoenix. So Phoenix still is in striking distance of Utah. It seems like Utah's played a few more games than them. The Clippers are in third at 33-18. The Nuggets, 2 games back in the win column, 31-18. The Lakers 31-19, Blazers 30-19. And then it goes Dallas, Memphis, San Antonio, Golden State. So right now, if we just say Dallas and Memphis both win their playing games and they're the 7-8, you would have a Dallas-Phoenix matchup. You'd have Memphis, Utah, Portland Clippers, and Denver, LA Lakers. But what I will say is it does feel like Portland might catch the Lakers if LeBron and AD aren't going to get back. So then you're going to get a Lakers-Clippers first-round matchup. Holy hell. Can you imagine that? Like two of the, favorites to come out of the West are going to play each other in the first round. So if you're a Utah or a Denver or a Phoenix, you're just like licking your lips, man. You're so pumped because you're not going to have to play one of them, I like that. All right. Sorry. I went on a rant and now I lost the spot. Billy says, what are your top 3 buys right now for the playoffs? Ooh, that's fun. So I think, right, the Lakers and Nets seem like they're appropriately priced. So for me, I'm trying to focus on the teams that are going to get more run, that are being shown light that they haven't gotten light yet. So it's dudes on the Phoenix Suns. So I'm thinking about Devin Booker, Ayton, and Mikal Bridges. Like Chris Paul's probably appropriately priced on the site. So those 3 guys stick out to me on that team. I'm going to do more than 3 right now, Billy. So it's not helpful, but that's what I'm going to do. Donovan Mitchell, definitely somebody in that list as well. And then when you go to Denver, I think all of them, except for Will Barton, but I'm buying Jokic. I'm buying Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray. Fuck it. We'll buy Gordon and, who am I forgetting? Will Barton. Maybe I'm not buying Will Barton, but I think it's those teams. The Knicks are a good call. Where I think you're going to get more spotlight on them, but the teams that are flying under the radar. The Deep Threat says, I think Mike busted his shoulder hitting like Bryson DeChambeau the other day. You know it, baby. You know it. All right, what else did I miss here? We'll hang for like 5 more minutes, then we're going to wrap up because I've had 2 cups of coffee and a glass of water, and I got to pee. Adrian Triplet said, would it be better to go for some 35K since I only have 100 to spend right now, or get the Luka 15K for 123? Adrian, that's up to you, man. I think there's value in both, right? Like if you want to have more than one moment and you want to spread it around with some like 35K stars and then just hope like in series 3, it's out of 50K. So then, the value goes up a little bit. If you think we're going to see a big boost in the playoffs, the whole floor will come up. I think for me personally, I think I just get the Luka only because Luka is like guaranteed safety, right? So I like Luka quite a bit. So I think I would lean Luka, but I don't think that's a bad approach to spread it around either. Like if you want to pick up like 5 or 6, $15 to $20 moments, I don't hate that either. Let's see what else we got here. Dennis Schroeder starting point guard potential for, I think Schroeder's good too. I think what's been bumming me out about Schroeder is I thought he was going to really take over with everybody out and they'd still be like competitive. I mean, I guess they're losing competitive games, but $17 for series 2 and his first moment, series 1 is $78. You have a series 1 moment for $78 on a potential championship team. I think it's a great call, Colin. It's a great call. What else we got? Murray or Simmons series 1, or maybe I'll just grab both. Yeah, my advice I think is always going to be to grab both. You're talking about Jamal Murray, I believe, and then Ben Simmons, right? Are they roughly the same price? So, let's filter series 1 too. All right, so 150. Okay, so I'm assuming it's between these 2, right? Man, they both have pretty good high. Yeah, this isn't helpful, Big Mike, but yeah, go get both, baby. Go get both. All right, what else we got? Yeah, this is a good point too, right? A lot of the 35Ks and even some of the 12Ks, like the Talon Horton Tucker, a lot of these are still in packs. So we're going to see every time that, like when that big pre-order pack drop happens, we're going to see a little dip again. So I bought 2 Schroders because of you, Mike. LOL, overpaid at this price. Yeah, again, hey, not financial advice. None of this is financial advice. Yeah, but I think, right, anything you bought right now has dipped. Anything you bought in the last like 4 or 5 weeks has gone down. And I think you just can be okay with that because this is long-term holds, right? Especially if you're getting series 1. These are long-term hold. Yeah, there we go. bagged one as I was talking about this, but thanks. I'll get both. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, Anthony Davis, Seeing Stars versus LeBron James, 35K. Wow. I mean, wow, that's pretty close. Also, shout out to the Twitch gang over there. That's pretty close. I don't know. I think for me, it's like, who do you like more? Who would you rather have? That's not helpful advice. I apologize, but that's where I'm at. I'm feeling 15K might be best liquidity wise during the playoffs. Any thoughts for short-term holds? No, that's a good point. It feels like the 15Ks are getting like wildly undervalued right now. And I think as, again, we move away from 35Ks and move out of this series into series 3, I feel like they'll have more value, like especially the 7,500 series too as well. And Big Mike says, yeah, playoffs don't start until the middle of May. That's like 6 months away in Top Shot time. Yeah. All right, friends. I think we're going to wrap up here. We had a lot of people hanging out today, so I really appreciate it. Last call, if you haven't had a chance to like the stream, go do that. Make sure you look out for the dude playing Roblox. If you find him, he's a good hang. As always, we do this every day at 9 or Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. If you look at our show notes, you can follow me on Twitter. You can follow Top Shot Takes at Twitter. You can also join the Discord, which is bumping. We've been talking about daily fantasy in there. We've been talking about Swish challenges. It's a lot of fun. It's a good environment. And then the whole gang is going to be back tonight. We'll have G Dunn. We'll have Dustin. And we'll be talking probably too much about Mike Conley, I imagine. That's usually what happens. But as always, thank you guys for being here, because otherwise it's me hanging out by myself for an hour. That's a tough hang. Yeah. Let's all raid the Roblox streams. Yeah. If this was on Twitch, I would just like send us right to Roblox. All right, everybody. I will see you all tonight. And then again tomorrow morning as we, keep watching some basketball. All right. See y'all later.